And now we're off and rolling with Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal after a 25-19 Patriots win. Greg, good afternoon. How are you?
Good. Mark Dendero, who are we putting in Canton this week?
So here's what we're going to do. I want to start with this. You've watched a lot of football in your life. I want to know if the call that they made to negate that second Pop Douglas touchdown was the worst call you've ever seen in the history of your life.
So the second one was not the phantom one on nobody on Diggs.
Yes, the one where Pop Douglas caught the pass and then the flag came out much later, and it was a call that they didn't even know where it emanated from. I think it was Diggs. They said got locked up with somebody, but that looked like a nothing call. What did you see there?
So a couple things on that. First of all, the officiating was so bad in this game that the official NFL stats platform that the media has access to that I, used during the game was completely messed up multiple times because even their computer and whoever was inputting stuff had no idea what the officials were doing. So on that play, when I was first trying to figure out what was going on, at first it said Austin Hooper had pass interference, offensive pass interference. He wasn't on the field. Then they came back to Diggs. I went back and I watched the TV copy at one point, and I don't see anything anywhere on the field remotely close to offensive pass interference. So, yeah, that was I don't think I've recall seeing a penalty called that bad.
Saying something.
Yeah, I know. Greg, just to a couple of things on the day. I thought Drake Maye was so elusive in the pocket, was slippery, kept keeping plays alive, 3 touchdowns with over 20 yards or more. Very impressive today. Are they taking the training wheels off them? Have they taken the training wheels? And what I mean by that is he's able to look downfield for more explosive plays. Is that him being elusive, or are they allowing him to stretch the field a little bit more?
Well, I think that they're, I don't think he's been as closely managed as, say, Mac Jones, his rookie season. I mean, Drake Maye has a lot of controls at the line of scrimmage, and he's doing a pretty good job of that. It's not perfect all the time. I would agree with you, especially in the second half when they needed some plays. I thought Drake did a good job manipulating the pocket, probably much better than he did against the Bills. Now, the Bills just let him kept rolling out to the right. He kept making plays. I thought the Saints and Brandon Staley did a good job of limiting that today, and I think Drake realized, like, they're just not going to let me escape. I'm going to have to go up in the pocket. I also think another factor in this where, Drake got off to a bit of a jittery start in the first half against the Bills last week, took a couple sacks that he didn't need to, things like that. I think it's really the difference in the team and the approach coming in because, the Bills can, generate some pressure. They have some good guys even without Ed Oliver out there, Rousseau, Joey Bosa, those guys. And I think Drake was a little cognizant of that, maybe a little, spooked coming in, a little too amped up. This game against the Saints, they're one of the worst pressure teams in the league. They don't blitz very much. They're one of these teams that sort of does what it does with Brandon Staley and, relies on their sort of, changing zone coverages and things like that. So I thought Drake came into this game knowing that that he was going to have some comfort. He was going to have the ability sort of like, in the second half against the Bills to let things develop, not quite be so ready to take the first check down. They were going to be able to get some things down the field with a couple of rookie defensive backs out there for the Saints. So I think it was really a matter of the different approach in this game and Drake realizing what he may or may not be capable of in this game.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this question now. It's week 6. I understand. We've watched what we've watched the last 3 weeks. What, as of now, Greg?
4.
Okay. What more does Drake Maye need to do as of now to officially enter the MVP conversation?
No, I think he's in it now. I mean, look, just we have a show to do today.
Correct.
It's 6 games in. The Patriots are 4-2, have won 3 straight. The last 2 games, they basically won because of Drake Maye. And if they don't get Drake Maye basically playing flawless football and not putting the ball in harm's way, they stand a good chance of winning. I mean, this is all 4 of their wins, either they haven't turned the ball over like they did today, or at least won the turnover battle. And, look, this team's, because they're not all that talented, their margin of victory isn't very good, so they almost have to win the turnover margin. But yes, at this point in time, with the way that Drake Maye's playing and with the consistency that he's playing with now, if he continues to do this week after week after week, and we're talking about like he plays at this level or even raises it a little bit, and the Patriots keep winning against their historically poor schedule, then absolutely he will be in the MVP discussion. And I would expect, considering all the injuries around the league to key players, that we're talking about a guy that could be very close to, if not a lock, for sort of top 5 in MVP voting. He's
top 8 right now according to DraftKings. So this is before the day could end too, and he could bump right up to the top 5. Greg, the offense clearly is the story today because they won the game by big plays. Can they continue to be one-dimensional and Drake Maye do this every week? I know that there was a delay of game, right? I think they struggled a little bit in the red zone in their appearance. I still don't know what happened on the 2-point conversion, if they scored or didn't. They did, I guess, but I still don't know the answer, even though the score rung up. But one-dimensional, like, can they be successful with Drake Maye without the running game?
They can in the regular season, considering their schedule. But if you want to do anything and win the big games, and especially win playoff games, no, this can't continue. They have to get the run game going. I mean, how many times have we seen it, whether it's even Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, like, as great as your quarterback is, at some point in time, you ask too much of him. And he's going to be put in a position where he needs to force the ball. And maybe things don't work out for him and he turns the ball over, or teams are not afraid of the run. So, the pass rush is getting home. But, yeah, no, if the Patriots want to do anything this season, this is not sustainable for an offense. Just Drake Maye playing great and pulling plays out of his rear end, and his receivers doing a really nice job, and getting open, and Kayshon Boutte making contested catches. You cannot survive that way in the NFL if you want to be a real football team.
Why isn't the running game working? Because we've seen it in years past when the offense wasn't nearly as dynamic, couldn't create through the air like they're doing it now. Why aren't they able to run the ball at all? Really bad. Why?
It's a great question. I think there are a lot of different answers. I think, when at least going into this game, watching it on film, it's sort of always been, something different. Some of it might be on, Drake Maye a little bit in terms of, how many tools does he have to get them in and out of good runs? Is he doing a good job with that? It's hard for me to evaluate that. The second level blocking has not been very good. They have not, timed up sort of double teams and getting to the second level. Also some of the blocking from the wide receivers and tight ends has been pretty poor. I mean, when you're not running the ball well, it's the whole operation. And, I don't think the backs have done a great job at times. They don't break, many tackles. They're near the bottom of the league in terms of yards after contact. And I do think you have to give some credit, at least I know this week against the Saints. The Saints went into this, their advanced analytics as far as interior rushing was pretty good. I thought that they would press the edges more. I think they might have been a little bit afraid. McDaniels made reference in his press conference about how big they are on the edges, and I think they were, worried about running into, negative runs. I mean, what's amazing to me is, it always seemed, with this Patriots running game, it might not be great, but they're always getting back to the line of scrimmage, if not getting like 2 or 3 yards, pretty much every time, falling forward. Now, the second half, it seemed like, they were getting dropped for -3 every time. I just think it's a combination of things. They're just going to have to work on it. It's going to take time on task. Hopefully, you get a blowout one of these games. Didn't get it today, like against the Titans, where you can just say, we're just going to run the ball and we're going to keep running it. And I don't care what it looks like. We need to practice it and, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's been pretty poor to this point.
Greg, a two-part question for you. Kayshon Boutte was really good in his return to New Orleans today. 5 catches, 2 touchdowns, 93 yards. But he sealed the deal on that final first down at the end of the game here. And I was reading from our own Alex Barth at 98.5 The Sports Hub. His last 10 catches in a row have been for first downs. I mean, David Givens did that years ago, if you remember, when early on in his career. But 16 of his 18 catches this year have moved the chains. And on that play, if you recall, the officials didn't get it right. They said that he was out of bounds. Vrabel challenged, still had the challenge available. Your thoughts on Boutte, his play, and Vrabel still having that challenge available after being successful earlier in the game?
On Boutte, look, he's been great. I mean, that's a really good stat by, Barth. I mean, considering the position that Boutte plays, it's almost always the X. I don't know how much it means. I mean, it's just, look, the kid's played well, and he's been, really physical. He's made contested catches. I love the back shoulder chemistry that they're developing, where May and Boutte sort of see it the same way, that if the cornerback's on top of him, then he's going to throw back shoulder. If he's got a step on him, he's going to go down the sideline. That's really great. That's, high level stuff like, sort of Aaron Rodgers and some of the guys he used to throw to. The challenge by Vrabel and Stretch, I mean, it was really good. It was good. I don't know how much of a difference it really made.
Well, won the game, Greg. It won the game.
What do you mean it won the game?
He would have been out of bounds. They would have went out of bounds. They would have ran a play. Would have been the 2-minute warning. They would have ran 2 more plays and would have had to punt it back if they didn't get a first down.
Yeah, with how many timeouts did New Orleans have left?
I believe there was none. They had none left.
None left.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. They would have still, if they didn't get a first down. The challenge was huge, Greg. It won them the game.
I just disagree. I mean, look, New Orleans, the Patriots would have run the ball on first down. It would have went down to the 2-minute warning.
Second down, third
then they go down another 35 seconds.
Yeah.
That's 125 left in the game. Yeah. Then they run it again.
Yeah,
now it's down to it's under a minute.
It's a one
now it's under a minute. Now they take a timeout before the punt. Yes, but they're at the they're at midfield.
Greg,
like they're punting with like 30 seconds left in the game.
Listen,
25 seconds.
We can go back and forth.
The Boutte play, Mac Jones and Boutte won the game. Don't be giving the coaches all this credit. It was a nice play. It was a good job.
Greg, if
the players won the game.
Coaches credit, it's you. You do that. I am actually saying it mattered today. It mattered. That mattered. It mattered. They won the game. It won them the game. They literally were in formation to win it because they had the challenge.
But are you saying that they wouldn't have won the game had they not converted?
No, I'm saying the refs screwed up.
Yeah.
They challenged it, and it won them the game.
I think they were going to win the game either way.
They were
going to win the game easily, Joe. They were going to be in victory formation no matter after the 2 minutes.
We're going to win the game either way.
Can do this
They're at midfield. They're punting. New Orleans is going to go. They need a touchdown. They're going to go in 25 seconds with no timeouts, the whole length of the field when they pin them at the 10. I mean, come on, Joe.
Greg, just hang on a second. You love to credit the offense and what they do. You love to do that. Mike Vrabel was a critical hire for the team. That was a huge play.
What does that have to do with what you're talking about?
What I'm talking about was they would have set up a potential punting situation to give the ball back in a one-possession game. Okay, great. All right. I thought it was impactful.
With no timeouts left, and the Patriots had the ball midfield. Do I need to do math now to figure out how much time was going to be left?
I did that for you.
Let me ask a big picture question here, Greg, before we have to let you go. Who's the best team right now in the AFC?
I have no idea. I don't watch football on Sundays. That's up to you guys.
Greg, what? Okay, today was great. Drake Maye carried the team today. He carried the team, right? You agree?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Can they win 3 games in a row consecutively? Can they do it against Mike Vrabel? Again, I'm bringing up Mike Vrabel again, going on the road against his former team. Like, there will be motivation there. So that's 3. It's never been done since Robert Kraft has taken over. They did it in 1985 in the playoffs, but they've never won 3 consecutive games consecutively. Do you think they can do that next week?
Yes, because it's the Titans. If it was somebody else, I might not be as confident, but with all the Titans guys, all the Titans coaches, Vrabel, Stretch, Tony all these guys that are on the staff. Plus you got, Harold Landry, Jack Gibbons. I'm sure there are a couple that I'm leaving out, guys that have been in Tennessee that were part of, what happened. And, I think they're going to have their coaches back. If they were going to slip up, it was going to be today, in my opinion. So, yeah, you can almost put it in the bank. The Patriots will be winning 3 games in a row. Or 3 on the road.
I'm sorry. Did you say you can't answer who's the best team in the AFC right now?
Yes. I haven't watched any I don't even know who won today, Mark. I'm working.
Okay. I'll get you out with this.
So answer it. So you tell me.
Well, we'll do a whole segment on that next. I want to ask one other quick thing that doesn't really have anything to do with today, but just because you're on, I'm interested. Let's just say hypothetically, you're at the Muffin House with Josh McDaniels, and he says, "Hey, Greg, I just got offered the Penn State job." What would you tell him?
I would tell him not to go anywhere, and I don't think that he has any interest in that. I know, he got some interest from. He got some interest from major college teams during his hiatus year, and he has no interest in that. I think he knows enough people in the college game with the NIL and the transfer portal. I do not think he would entertain that.
All right. Greg Bedard of the Boston Sports Journal after a Patriots 25-19 win over the New Orleans Saints. We'll hear him on Tuesdays with Felger and Mass. Thanks a lot, Greg.
All right. See you guys.